Now that we looked at the first page together, let's take a look at the second page. Find the areas of the following parallelograms, round to the nearest tenth if necessary. Okay, so what I need you to remember about a parallelogram, the area for that is A equals base times the height. Where B and H, base and the height, they're perpendicular to each other. That's the most important thing that you need to know when you're dealing with parallelograms. The base is always perpendicular to the height. All right, so if we look at number 10, okay, well, I'm asked to find the area. The area is equal to base times the height, and A is equal to, okay, here's my base. That's 18, and it's perpendicular to the height here, which is 16. And you can see they intersect at a 90-degree angle. You do not say that you multiply 18 by 20. 20 is not the height. That's the slant height. You need to figure out what's perpendicular to each other, okay? Super important. People mess this up a lot. So A equals 18 times 16, and then you can just put that into your calculator. 18 times 16 is 288 square feet. If you were asked to find the perimeter, well, opposite sides are congruent, so you would do 18 plus 18 plus 20 plus 20 to figure out the perimeter, and you don't say feet squared, you just say feet. Number 11, this is a parallelogram. So what do I need to do? I'm going to write my formula. A is equal to base times the height. Okay, so if this side is 23, then this side is also 23. So 23. And I should not block out the 5 meters there, but 23 meters is my base. But we do not have the height. And yes, this is perpendicular to that. This is our unknown. You can see that, okay, since the base and the height, they intersect each other at a 90-degree angle, and this angle is 45 degrees. So 45, 90, this is 45. So we're dealing with a special right triangle. Across from 45, this is A, and across from this 45, that's also A. And that's all I need. A is equal to 5. Right? If A is equal to 5, then the height here is also 5. So we just found our height. So 23 times 5, that's equal to 115 meters squared. Right? And you can, if you were to find the perimeter on this one, well, you have to do 23 plus 23 plus this side plus that side. So this side would be, what, 5 root 2, 5 root 2. And then you would put all of these things into your calculator. Yes, you have to include the square root of 2 into your calculator, all right? And then we got number 12 over here, parallelogram. So A equals base times the height. This is the base, this is the height. The height is unknown, okay? So we know that these two segments intersect at a 90-degree angle. So this is 60, this is 90. Our leftover is 30 degrees. All right, so I don't want to mess this up, okay? Because if you say across from 30 degrees here and say that this is A, you're incorrect, because 12 is this whole side here, not this. So to not confuse you, I'm going to redraw this triangle with some sides. Here's 20 centimeters. This is 30 degrees. That's my 90, and this is 60 degrees. All right. So here we go. I'm going to say across from 30 degrees, this is A. Across from 60 degrees, that's a root 3. And then across from the 90-degree angle here, 2A. All right, there you go. Okay, that's 2A. Y'all, if this is 2A equals 20 centimeters, yes, then that means that A is equal to 10. So let's do the algebra. We have 2A equals 20 centimeters. I'm going to divide both sides by 2 here. A is equal to 10. So that means that this side here is 10, and then the height is 10 root 3. So the area is equal to 12. This is the base. And then the height is 10 root 3. All right, I'm going to multiply the 12 and the 10 together. So A is equal to, all right, 120 root 3 centimeters squared. 13, the area of a parallelogram. Oh, by the way, before I move on to this problem, that's approximately 207.8 centimeters squared. All right, here we go. Number 13, the area of a parallelogram ABCD is 2,775 square meters. What is the height of the parallelogram? So we're working backwards on this one. All right, so then the area of the parallelogram is A equals base times the height. So the area is actually given. It's 2,775. So 2,775 equals the base of the parallelogram, which is 75. And then our height is x. So we just have to divide both sides by 75 here in order to find the height. So x is equal to 37 meters. There you go. Number 14, the base of a parallelogram is 13 inches longer than its height. If the area of the parallelogram is 300 square centimeters, find the base and the height. Okay, the base of a parallelogram. So we're dealing with the area of the parallelogram. So A equals base times the height. And then the area is given. Yes, 300 equals. All right, well, if I look at this, if I read this carefully, the base of parallelogram is 13 inches longer than its height. If I look anywhere for the height value, well, I don't see it. I'm going to write base here. I'm going to write h there for the height. We don't know what the height is, so that's our unknown. We'll call it x. But we do know that the base of the parallelogram is 13 inches longer than its height, so we express that as x plus 13. Okay, so then what do we have? Well, the base is x plus 13. Let's put parentheses around that, multiplied by the height, which is x. All right, let me go ahead and rewrite this. 300 equals x times the quantity x plus 13. You're going to apply the distributive property, so 300 is equal to x squared plus 13x minus 300 on both sides. So then what do you get? You get x squared plus 13x minus 300 equals 0. And we got to apply the x method here. So what goes up top? Negative 300. What goes down below? 13. Ooh, this is really, really difficult. Why is this difficult? Because we're dealing with a large number up top, and then we're trying to figure out, you know, those two numbers that multiply to negative 300 and, you know, add up to 13. So let me see if I remember that trick that I taught you a couple of units ago, the factoring unit. Get my calculator out, and then I'm just going to press y equals. So let's figure out what A, B, and C are first. So this is A, that's B, this is C. So A, B, C. I'm going to do C divided by X. So it's negative 300 divided by X. And then for y2, it's going to be negative 300 divided by x plus x. So now you go and press the second button, hit graph, so you get a table. Okay? And your goal here is to look at y2 and find the number 13. You're going to find your b value on y2. So please remember that if you're having a hard time factoring, you need to use your calculator. Input the stuff input the stuff after you press the y equals button, and then on y2 you're going to find the b value, which is 13, and I can see it right there. That's what we need. So what this is saying is okay, negative 12 times 25 is negative 300, and then negative 12 plus 25 is 13, right? So negative 12, 25, I don't need my calculator anymore, so I just write x minus 12 times x plus 25 equals 0. So x is equal to 12 and x is equal to negative 25. I want the positive x value. And if x is 12, that means the height is 12 and the base is what? 12 plus 13 is 25. And we cannot forget our units. All right, so let's take a look at number 15. Find the area of the following triangles. Okay, so this one, number 15, it's a equals 1/2 base times the height. So a equals 1/2. What's the base and what's the height? Same thing like the parallelogram. If you're trying to find the base and the height, you need to make sure that those two segments are perpendicular to each other. So here's 14, and then here's 10. This is the base of the triangle, and this is the height of the triangle. So the base is always perpendicular to the height. So I have a equals 1/2 of 14 times 10. So you can say 0.5 times 14 times 10, and then put that into your calculator. So then you get 70 meters squared, okay? Please make sure that you are using your calculator so you don't make crazy arithmetic issues. All right, number 16. 16, we're dealing with a triangle. It's an equilateral triangle. And if it's an equilateral triangle, we can actually use this formula. We don't even have the height. You can use Heron's formula for this one, but I think it's just easier if we use this. A equals s squared root 3 divided by 4. And s is basically, the side length of an equilateral triangle. So here's 12. So I say a equals 12 squared root 3 divided by 4. So we have 144 root 3 divided by 4. I'm going to simplify this fraction. 144 divided by 4. That is 36. So 36 root 3. And this is what I want you to do on your test. You need to simplify your fraction there. 36 root 3. All right, so this is the second page of the Unit 11 test review.